So guys, this week I did something crazy, like really crazy, and I'm very proud of myself. And I've been told that I need to create a video to let you guys know, because there's certain people that are out there that are maybe going through the same exact thing that I'm going through, which is driving with anxiety. So this week I bought a car, which was crazy. It still hasn't sunk in that I did. I'm still processing. And every day I open my blinds and I look outside at my car and I'm like, it's still there. Yay. So I was kind of in a down dump kind of way, because I've been saving up, guys, for this car for like a while. And I was at the point that I had the funds that I had wanted to have to make my down payment and stuff like that. But it was still me like letting fear hold me back from actually purchasing the car. And it actually took being like talking to this guy that was somewhat of a jerk for me to realize that the only excuse I have right now for not having a car is myself. So then, I mean, that kind of put me down for a little bit, because I was just like, oh my gosh, Tae'Jah, get over it and quit holding yourself back. But then I kind of got out of the dumps, because I'm a very spiritual person, and I had some conversations with God, because I was just like, yeah, we need to get this together so that I can get on the road and, get past this obstacle that I feel like is holding me back from a lot of things. So I went to my support system and talked to my mom, my sister, and my mom suggested that I go to the dealership and test drive a car, which I don't know about you, but with me having driving anxiety, I was just like, why would I go and test drive a car that's not mine? And if something happens, then like something will happen. And like, I don't even want to say it, but if stuff happens, then I'm going to end up owing somebody, like, even though you're going to owe somebody anyways. But these are like, the excuses or the reasons that you come up with to try to counteract you taking a step. All that to be said, the next morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? She had valid points. Even if you go to the dealership and you sit in the car, that'll be a step in the right direction, because it's all about the steps. I know I don't have the full game plan. I don't think I want it. I just want the few steps to focus on at a time. And so it's just always about keep moving. Even if you're, scared, just keep moving. So I went to the dealership. I thought people were going to hassle me. If you've never bought a car, everyone, I feel like, tells you that people are going to hassle you and like be like, buy this car now, buy it, and you're like, hold on, man. But no, it actually wasn't like that. People asked if I need help and I said no, and they left me alone, which was great. And then sidebar, funny thing that happened. So I'm looking at this car, and they don't put the prices on cars anymore. I'm late to the game, guys. Like, I don't know this stuff because everyone in my family hasn't bought a car in over a decade, because we're Toyota people and Toyotas last a while. So I didn't know that they don't put the price on cars anymore. You have to like look it up on the website. So I was looking at a car, but then I looked it up and it was like $28,000, which is over my budget. So then I was like, I need an older car. So guys, I went and looked at a car and I was like, this is the one. Like, I love this one. I like the color, which is very important for me. And this is also the type of car that I was looking for. So I go in for help. The person comes out. They're like, oh, where's the stickers? And I was like, I was asking you that. That's why I needed your help or whatever. And turns out I was looking at somebody else's car that was not for sale, which is very funny because it had a whole charger and like a bracelet around the gear shift. And I just thought like, oh, that's nice that it comes with those things. But bottom line, I went there with the game plan of scoping stuff out. I actually told them that I was not going to buy anything that day. And I think that's a good thing, just because like, look, doesn't matter how much you pester me, even though they weren't. I'm not purchasing anything today. So it gives you some time to even like, so that it's not impulsive. Like, you get to go home and think about it. So then the next day, it was all about getting the loans approved and stuff. Did that. The next day, I went to go back to the car dealership and buy my car. And I did. And guys, like, I have been wanting to just sit in my car and just like rub everything and appreciate the fact that I have a car, because as I told you, I'm still processing and it's kind of sinking in. And I mean, like, Since I work remotely, I've literally been wondering like, oh, will my Wi-Fi extend to the parking lot so that I could sit in my car while I work, which is crazy because like, why? But that's just one aspect. That's the aspect of buying my car that I overcoming that. Like, and I'm telling you guys, I was all nerves. Like, even when I told my sister that I was going to the dealership, it was like, I'm going to the dealership. And like, I even cried. I cried many times. Like, just however you need to get through the process. Journaling also helped me because I just needed to take my emotions and get them out of me, because I think sometimes like there's so much going on that you don't even know, like, what am I feeling right now? Why am I crying? Like, what is going on? And like when you journal it out, you're like, okay, this is me processing. This is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. And all of that helped me in purchasing the car. And that's just one step, because as I said, I have driving anxiety. Purchasing the car is not driving the car. So now we're on to the next stage. Okay, so past the purchasing the car, it has officially been like a week and a half since I've had my car. And I wanted to give you guys some steps that I took to overcome my anxiety, or, start, I guess, fighting back with it. Because I'm not sure if I've overcome it completely yet, because I still haven't been driving on highways, but I have been driving around every day. So these are some tips that I found useful in facing it. So first off, I only was venturing out at like night, and it might seem like it's harder, but it's actually less crowded. The roads, so there's not that many people on the roads for me to be freaking out about, and I'm actually getting a chance to learn the roads. So it worked for me. I did that for like the first 2 or 3 nights of me having my car. I went around driving at night. I drive at night because I looked up the times that it's most crowded on the road in my city, and I got these time frames where most of the time, unless on my days off, I'm working during these time frames. So that's why I started driving at night, because it's like after 7 p.m. it's supposed to be less crowded. So I'm able to drive more at 7 p.m. and feel more comfortable. But I do have a day off on Mondays, so I was actually able to drive around on Mondays during the less busy times, but get some daylight to see the comparison of driving at night and driving during the day. With the driving at night and the driving during the non-busy hours, there's still some roads that I have not ventured to take. And that would be, I stay away from toll roads, because I was just like, I think we have enough to focus on right now without actually focusing on like, oh, I would get there 10 minutes faster if I took this toll road, but then I would have to, worry about them sending me the toll bill and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, there's enough new changes and adjustments to make with like car insurance and car payments and stuff. So I just figured the less to worry about would be great. If you want to take toll roads, do. It's up to you. I also do not drive on highways yet. Highways is another, unknown, scary thing to me right now that I'm sure I'll get over. But as of right now, I kind of just want to focus on basic roads, which basic roads here, guys, are still like 4 lanes on each side. Like, it's still pretty crazy without the highways. But right now it's just like, okay, it's baby steps. Like, I know what I feel comfortable doing. And that is always, I think, first and foremost, most important. Do your baby steps and do them in your time. Don't let anyone tell you where you should be at, or, if anyone's making fun of your steps, then stop talking to them for this period. Maybe they don't need to be in this season. Because progress is progress. And I think if you're really nervous about getting a car or driving, I was nervous on all these things, and I think it just really starts, just make sure that you're constantly continue to move and that you're not remaining stagnant due to the fear. Even if your constant movement is, oh, I've started putting aside money for my paycheck and my savings for a car. Or even if it's like, oh, I got driving lessons, or, oh, I'm just going to go sit in the car today, or go to the dealership and sit in a car. Like, take your steps, take them on your time frame. Just make sure you keep moving towards your goal. But actually, so first and foremost, the thing that I did before I even got my car was I got driving lessons, or I paid for a package deal of driving lessons because I'm new to Austin and the traffic here, as I've stated many times before, is horrendous. I ordered driving lessons so that I had an expert here telling me how to navigate the different roads and the weird, complex structures that we have here. I did that. There were 6 classes for that. I still haven't even taken my last one, hoping to impress her with these with my driving, since I've been doing it more. But anyways, yeah, so I definitely recommend, if you're new to a town, and even if you're not, if you feel like it would be helpful, get a driving instructor and do some classes with them, so that you can, even if it's just like you're listening to them. For me, I like to listen to them talk me through everything that I'm supposed to be paying attention to. And so now when I'm driving, I just kind of hear my driving instructor's voice, like, make sure you check the intersection before you go through, and different stuff like that. So even if it's just, that's why you need them, or if it's just the comfort of having someone in the car with you while you're driving, I highly recommend doing it. Okay, so this next tip is what stopped people from beeping the horn at me. And I believe so, because I don't think my driving improved like dramatically in just 3 days. So I'm guessing that the reason they stopped beeping the horn at me is because my student driver magnets came in and I was able to put those on my car. And y'all, I'm not shy about it. I put it on every side of my car. That way, no matter what angle you are coming from, unless you're coming like straight at me, which you should never be, then you should see that I'm a student driver. And it's asking just to please have patience, because I'm not doing this stuff on purpose. I'm kind of nervous and I'm learning. And it's been great. Highly recommend, guys. People give me my space, which I love. And even if they don't, like, I've done some crazy stuff. Will I go into it? No. But I've done some crazy stuff where it's been like, oh my gosh, Tae'Jah, that was so dumb. But people were giving me space, not to say to just take it like, oh, I grabbed the magnets and I put them on my car and now I can be fast and furious crazy or whatever. Don't do that. But like, it gives you a little bit more wiggle room. And I feel like since people aren't beeping the horn at me and they know to be more patient with me, it has helped improve my anxiety a lot, I think, faster. Because when people were beeping the horn at me before my magnets came in, it was a little chaotic and scary. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to be on the road, because all these people are so angry with me because I'm just trying to learn, you know? So definitely recommend. You can get them on Amazon for like $5 and it comes with 3. And I recommend magnets instead of stickers, because I feel like eventually you will reach the point where you want to take them off, or at least that's how I felt. And I don't want it to be like a whole process. Okay, another tip is to make yourself drive often. Me, I know how I am, and I wanted to drive every day, because I was like, I feel like the longer I sit not driving, even if I take a night off, is time for me to sit with and start worrying and letting my fear back in, which I think now I'm to the point, like, it's okay. Like, I probably could take a night off, but I'm also I feel like once you get over the anxiety, then you have what everyone else usually has, which is the excitement of getting out. Like, this is my car and I get to go driving wherever I want. Where do we want to go? I think it's the more you do something, the more you know about it. And I feel like people are a lot of times afraid of the unknown. And so if I don't do it, it's still a lot of stuff that's unknown that could cause me to worry, or that could have this fear. But I think a lot of times once you do something, you realize that the fear was just, it wasn't even all that it should have been. Like, you know, like you do something, you're like, oh, it was that simple, or it was that easy. And I think that's what happens a lot of times. So I just say go for it and make a pact, like, oh, I'm going to drive like 5 times a week, or every day, or every other day, and stick to it, because that will help you a lot. Like a week and a half, guys, and I'm already feeling way better than I did before I got my car. Now, still make mistakes, and you are going to. Even my sister, when I was talking to her about it, said that she still makes mistakes, and she's been driving for 10 years at least. And so, like, people, you're gonna make mistakes, and it's okay. A lot of these mistakes are really just stepping stones. Like, nothing seriously bad happens. You're just like, oh, that was dumb, don't do it again. That's what I've been mainly going through. So just get out there, and make sure you get out there consistently, so that you can overcome this fear. I think that that's all of the tips that I have for you guys. Let me know if you guys have any tips or suggestions that were helpful for you in overcoming your anxiety in the comments below. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe for more content. If you would like for me to cover some other part of the journey of, getting a car and driving and getting over the driving anxiety, then just let me know in the comments below and I'll try to come up with content for it. Thank you guys so much for watching and stay tuned.